Ultimately, there are only three realities in this world. The first reality is that you don't know what reality is. And basically, that's okay. Um, and often that led to what we would call a balance of power reality. In many countries, it's very funny, Western countries that have been civilized literally over thousands of years, basically the Bible is the civilizing force of reality, and the Jewish people that carried that in a very real way. And so nations that believe in justice, in kindness, I mean, that's huge. We don't realize how big it is because we come from these societies and we think, oh, well, all societies work like that. Not really. A society like China, it believes in power. Whoever's in charge gets to make the rules. And most countries are like that. Um, it's called the balance of power. Um, the next way is kind of what we would call civilization, where there is a bunch of rules that people have to behave by. But ultimately, what happens is there becomes this tension between the instincts of man, like why should you tell me who I can and can't have intimacy with, which is an obvious thing. Everybody would agree not to have intimacy with children. It's evil. So there is evil in this world. It's just a question of the definition. But that instinct in man, when a person has instinct, or even, let's say, gay, who are you to tell me that I can't have a gay relationship? Well, there is such a thing as evil. And God is the one that decides what is good and what is evil. And the societies that have those decisions, they survive. And societies that just, basically what happens in all of human history is that as the religious ideal creates the social contract and everybody can get along and have the morality, then the instincts can take over because anyway we're safe. So once we're safe, we don't have to think anymore. We can just want. And you get this new philosophy, and it's all throughout human history, and we're seeing it right now. It's just a decline of a civilization. Because once you break the rules, then there are no more rules. It's like a house. Once you get rid of the building code, then whatever you're going to build, maybe for a year or two, you're going to keep it up because you remember it, but eventually you're going to get worse and worse until it collapses. And that's why there's so many suicides and this, not because people can't live in a crazy world. They need rules that are good. But ultimately, God had a deeper plan. The plan was that we shouldn't feel obligated by the rules. In fact, we should invite the rules. We should, and this is really the point of this video, which is to say that God is one. That's the most important Jewish prayer. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. God is one. And what that means is that there's nothing outside of him. So you and I are inside God. And when we're inside God, the question then becomes, what is the purpose? Not what if there's a God or not. Everything's inside God. Everything is just a manifestation of his desire for it to exist for a reason. So then the question is, what is the reason? And ultimately, according to Jewish mysticism, it's that we should unite. We should unite with ourselves. We should love ourselves. We should unite with each other. We should love each other. We're all the same. We're all in this together. We're all growing together. And ultimately, we should love God because he loves us. And everything is from his love. And everything that happens is just progress. That's the real truth of life. It's not that I'm progressive and you're regressive. No, there is this infinite ability of the Creator, and from his love he created us, and he wants us to progress. And he helps us along the way. The Baal Shem Tov, one of the greatest masters, said that every moment God is speaking to us. And so right now, as we're conversing, there is a moment that at this moment, God is communicating to everyone in the world. And he knows where we're up to. I mean, technology gives us examples of this. Right now your AI knows me really well, and can really help you, really feed you. And God is doing that. Now, he doesn't coerce us because he doesn't want us to feel coerced. He wants us to grow. So the secret of life and the ultimate idea of life is that we are within God, and God is communicating. And the moment we understand that, we enter into another paradigm, because the world of, first of all, chaos, which, thank God, if you're living in a country that is not on the balance of power. I met a guy, he was head of the Latino gang in a prison. He actually burnt the prison down. But the point is that He said, we didn't grow up like you. He was a good guy. I liked him. But obviously he was tense. It was eat or be eaten. When a person grows up in such a society, such a reality, this friend of mine, a very smart guy, he came from Russia. He said, you're a nice guy. I said, but anybody can be mean. Like, I say this very clearly. Thank God I'm a nice guy. But circumstances around me are nice. How long would it take for a nice person to become a killer? Not that long. If he saw that people were killing each other and the only way he could survive, maybe it was against his family, it could take a day. So the point is that circumstances, we have to be very grateful. The sages say, if not for governments, if not for the fear of the police, people would kill each other. They'd eat each other alive. So we have to be grateful for governments. We have to want governments. Governments are a good thing. Police are a good thing. Law and order is a good thing. But at the same time, the goal is not to feel repressed by the rules, but rather to have this knowledge that we are within God. We are within the infinite computer. And we're all growing infinitely. And that's a beautiful thing. So we can celebrate, first of all, God, that he gave us this. We can celebrate ourselves because we're good people, we're growing. And we can celebrate each other because we're all growing as well. And everybody, the world is growing, even the technology, everything's growing. And it's growing in a beautiful, beautiful way. And so this is the secret to happiness and truth. Thank you for watching.